Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Have you ever had an inspired idea, a download of information that came out of nowhere, that seemed to come from beyond yourself, and had you wondering where this information even came from, and how it was able to solve these problems that you were having? You, my friend, tapped into cosmic intelligence. It is a part of the way you think and makes up over 90% of your mind's power. This 90% generally stays inactive, except for when you're able to access it in the way I'm going to talk about in this video. And once you do this, you're going to unlock a new way of thinking for you, not only for you, but when you spread this information, a new way of working with teams, a new way of working within your business, and will generally revolutionize the way you come up with creative solutions. This has been life-changing for me. And so with that being said, let's get right into the video. So first of all, I want to start with this chart here. It's a very simple chart, but it depicts your right hemisphere and your left hemisphere. These two hemispheres are almost two different brains on their own. They work completely differently in the way that they process information. Your left brain is responsible for recognizing patterns. It's very analytical. That's where your egoic self resides. Whereas your right brain is responsible for abstract thinking, beyond the, out of the box thinking, more abstract thoughts. But also this is the radio receiver antenna for where you can receive information beyond the third and fourth dimensions, where your mind resides, and get information that comes from interdimensional beings, higher guides, spirit. This information is might sometimes sound like things that you have heard before or have thought about before, but with a deeper sense of wisdom and conviction unlike you have felt before. Now what happens? How do we tap into this cosmic flow? Which is, I believe, is like the natural flow that humans are moving towards. Whenever there's a collective action taken towards a positive light for humanity, I believe cosmic flow is behind that. And in order for everybody to access that, the individuals must be in harmony with nature. It's like a river flowing one way, right? Or actually even better, it's like a weather current, weather pattern that flows across a nation a certain way. These weather currents, they generally they change from day to day, but the direction oftentimes stays the same. And what happens when you move against the current? Or if you're a ship, for example, you move against the current, you're going to face resistance. You're going to be feeling heavy. You know what? You might not make the progress that you feel like you deserve to make based on your efforts. So tap into the cosmic flow, my friend. Let's get right into it. First of all, the way you're going to access cosmic flow, the way you're going to access this information, the 90%, is dealing with this first, your ego. Your ego is that safety preservation mechanism that when you do get an inspired thought, when you get a cosmic thought, it's going to want to analyze it, which your left brain's really good at, analyze it to pieces, and then leave you with the pieces, oftentimes. And you'll lose the wholeness of the idea. You'll lose the wholeness of the inspiration and the direction that you had in that moment. Because oftentimes when you get these cosmic thoughts, it's often paired with a certain kind of emotion. This is the heart-mind connection that I talk about that's able to receive this information. And so the first thing is dealing with the ego and understanding that it's trying to do its job in keeping you safe, but to also acknowledge its presence, but almost like you want to treat your ego like you are the parent. You are the parent and the ego is the child. Sometimes it's kicking and screaming, it's trying to drag you away from where you're meant to go. And your job is to lovingly take it in the direction that you were guided to in the first place, which was that cosmic intelligence. To keep moving in that direction, even though the ego sometimes is kicking and screaming, is dragging its feet and putting them into the ground. Your job is to keep moving forwards. And so let's just also make this other clarification is you're not just going to be able to access the right side of your brain. You're not going to be able to just access this cosmic flow just like that. It's not going to happen like that. That's not how these things work. You must be taken there. You must be taken there, and you must be open to being taken there. So how does one get taken to cosmic intelligence? On demand, when they wish. Is to give yourself stillness. Give yourself abilities to meditate. Moments to meditate, even for a few minutes. And I'm not talking about, turning on Headspace or like some other meditation app and listening to some guy talking in your ear about how you should breathe and what you should be doing. Those things are helpful when you start. But ultimately, you want to be able to sit in stillness, in silence. And, the monkey mind will start going crazy, jumping from branch to branch. You keep observing the thoughts and letting them go. Observing the thoughts and letting them go. And this is the barrier, is when you're not able to observe your thoughts and let them go in this way, which we're not able to do that at any other time, really, during the day, because we're doing thoughts that are very cognitive, involve thinking, whether you're driving, cleaning something, taking care of the kids. The mind is that's the left brain at work. That's the 10%. It's very good at doing all those things. It's not good at stillness because it's not comfortable with stillness. It's not comfortable with the wholeness of your being, your full potential, the reason why you're meant to be here. It's not comfortable with letting go of its own fears and negativisms that are holding you back. And so this is where the challenge lies, is being able to sit in stillness. Most of us can't sit in stillness. Like for me, even starting out on this journey, it was a challenge. Like just to stand in the corner of a room or sit in the corner of a room and stay still and think about nothing, like don't fidget my fingers or anything. It sounds easy, but it's actually quite challenging for most of us. Even to this day, I find days where there's it's challenging. But in this moment, something magical will happen. You're going to let go, you're going to keep observing thoughts, and you're in the stillness. You're going to start being carried away. Your thoughts are going to start being carried away, and you're going to start getting inspired ideas. You're going to start getting this deeper inner knowing and wisdom that comes up. It's going to scare you, because oftentimes this is like going beyond what your perceived your perception of yourself is. But like I've said before, higher guides, spirit, they can see the wholeness of our journey, the wholeness of our path unfolding before us, even before we can recognize it. And so when you let yourself get carried away into the cosmic flow, that is when you're really in harmony with nature. That is when you're really in harmony with who you're meant to be. And this has been such an incredible journey for me, because I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for giving myself these moments of stillness. I was taught by a teacher of the importance of meditation when I was going through PTSD. He was actually a counselor who showed me how to do a very simple meditative technique. And had I not done that, I wouldn't have had the guidance that I would have needed to get to where I am now, running a coaching business, doing what I love and putting videos out on YouTube, spending time with my family and my dogs. Like, this is all stuff that came as a result of tapping into this right side of the brain that knew everything all along. It had this expansive intelligence that came beyond the fourth dimension. Our minds are in the fourth dimension, by the way. But this intelligence came from beyond that and was able to influence my life because I accepted the advice I was getting, the guidance I was getting. And as scary as the steps were to take, as crazy as some of those steps sounded to take, I took them anyway. And it's led me to here. And so I can really see the magic in this for you. And so what's the challenge here? The challenge is to give yourself moments of stillness, because the right side of the mind you can't just go there how you can go with the left side of the brain. You actually need to be taken there. And to be taken there, you need to give it moments of stillness. And, even if you're not deeply into meditation, sit in the stillness for just a moment and see what comes up. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing what you guys say. Put them down in the comments below. If you just took a moment after this video and stood still and thought about nothing. I mean, if thoughts come up, observe them and let them go. But to achieve that silence, I really am curious to know what comes up for you. With that being said, I'm running a 3-week workshop called the Soul Alignment Transformation Program. It's going to do what it says. It's going to help you heal your wounds, come up with a plan that's going to bridge the gap of where you are now and who you are meant to be. And I'm so excited to offer it to you because it's normally something that I would charge like $1,500 for, but I'm doing it absolutely free. We're going to start later in August. If that's something that interests you, link is down below. Until next time, my friend, peace.